video because I'm going to be sharing with you guys a bunch of different hair hacks that you guys need to try out. Like seriously, they've changed my life. So if you guys didn't know, a couple of weeks ago I headed down to Melbourne with 11 Australia. I went down there with a few hairstylists and they taught us how to create different hairstyles. One of them being this voluminous messy ponytail. I will leave a link up here to the other video I did on a tutorial on this, and I also have another like sleek ponytail in that video. But whilst I was down there, my hairstylist Missy, she's amazing, she's literally the best, I was racking her brains about different hair hacks and tips and tricks that she had, because she's been doing hairdressing for 10 years, so I figured that she'd have some sneaky little tricks up her sleeve that she could share with me, and she definitely did. And so I thought I would share them with you guys today. I'm so incredibly grateful to be partnering with 11 Australia on this video. Ever since I came back from Melbourne, I've been using their products like crazy. I'm obsessed, like literally obsessed with their miracle hair treatment. If you guys haven't tried it, you need to. It's amazing. I'm pretty sure one of the hacks in this video is to use the treatment just because it's so good. It's so good. Without further ado, let's get into the hacks. Okay, so tip number 1 is how to get big volume at the front of your hair. So for me, I like to wear my hair a lot of the time. I don't really have a part, I just kind of flick it over, and I like for it to be nice and big. So the best way to do this is to separate your hair into like a little quiff square whilst it's still damp, so after you've come out of the shower, or you can wet it after if you would like to. And then you want to add some volume foam to the hair, brush it out with a comb, and then grab a hair blow dryer and a round brush and just comb it back. So what you want to do is you want to put the hair brush behind the hair and then grab your blow dryer and just blow out the front until your hair is dry. Then you just want to grab the hair and pull it into a little quiff. It's really important that you do wait for it to fully cool, otherwise you will lose the volume throughout the day. So the next hack is to save time washing your hair. If you're like me, you might hate washing your hair because it takes so long, and then you have wet hair, and then you have to blow dry, and then you have to curl it, and it just takes a really long time. And the hack is to just wash your fringe. Well, I don't have a fringe, so just wash like this front section of your hair. So you can either do it in the shower or in the sink. You just want to grab that little section of hair, wet it, add some shampoo and conditioner, and then blow dry it out, and you are ready to go. This is amazing because washing your hair too much is actually really bad for it, and I have so many friends that wash their hair either once a day or once every couple of days, which is just so, it's just, you're stripping your hair of your natural oils. It's really bad for it, so you definitely should try and leave your hair as long as possible to wash it. I wash mine about once a week, and this is really going to help you if you need to prolong washing your hair. This section of your hair is the section that looks the most oiliest, so if you just wash that, it's going to make such a difference and make your hair look way less oily, but all you have to do is wash your fringe. Hack number 3 is to add a little bit of hairspray to your hair before you curl or straighten it, and this is just going to help your curls to last all day long. I asked my stylist about this and she said it isn't bad for your hair or anything, so you guys are good to go, and it's so easy, but it's just going to make such a massive difference. Hack number 4 is to always comb out your hair after you've applied a product to it. So like for example for me, when I get it out of the shower, I always apply my miracle hair treatment, but you just want to make sure that you do take a comb and comb it all throughout your hair, otherwise it won't be evenly distributed. And if you are using something like a curl cream or a volume cream to get your hair nice and big, just making sure you're combing through everything is seriously so much more important than I think what a lot of people realize, and it's going to make a massive difference because it's just going to make sure everything is perfectly evenly distributed through your hair. Tip number 5 you guys might have heard about again, but I just wanted to drill it into your brains because it is again so important and it will make such a difference to your overall look, and that is to make sure that when you're curling your hair, you are curling it away from your face. So for example, I have my hair curler here. When I curl, I always curl the hair away from my face. You want to make sure you do this at least to the front sections of your hair, ideally to all of your hair. This is just going to make everything look, I don't know, it's way more flattering for your face. So tip number 6 is all about how to blow dry your hair as quickly as possible. So you want to make sure that you remove the little nozzle that comes with some blow dryers. So you have the actual blow dryer, but then you have that little nozzle thing. And the reason you want to take that off is because it's only distributing air through this tiny little square hole, but if you take that off, then you have air coming out of the entire blow dryer. It's just going to help you to blow dry your hair way quicker than what it would take you if you did still have the little nozzle thing on it. Another tip under this hack is to make sure that you are moving the blow dryer as you're blow drying it. So like just move your wrist and that'll help you to blow dry your hair faster. And finally, this is like 3 hacks in one. Finally, the other tip underneath this hack is to flip your head upside down when you're blow drying to get volume. So pretty much you always want to blow dry in the direction that you want your hair to go. So if you're going for a really sleek look, then you want to blow dry it downwards. But if you are going for something that has a lot of volume, like this ponytail I did today, then flipping your hair over and blow drying it so that your hair is facing upwards is going to make a massive difference to the amount of volume that you get on your hair. Tip number 7 is to prime your hair, and this is probably the number one thing that I learned in Melbourne in terms of importantness. I feel like I made that sentence way more complicated than it needed to be, but I feel like this is the number one thing that is like most important, because when you think of makeup, you always prime your skin to get the kind of makeup look that you want. So if you want like a matte makeup look, then you use a matte foundation, or you use like a matte primer. If you want a glowy look, then you use like a glowy primer, and it is exactly the same with your hair. So kind of going off that volume versus sleek little hack that I gave you guys before, if you want voluminous hair, then you should be using products that help you to achieve volume. If you want sleek hair, then you should be using products that help you to achieve a sleek look. It's not just all down to the tools you use, it's down to the products as well. But if you're just going for an everyday look, I would definitely recommend priming your hair with the 11 Australia Miracle Hair Treatment. This stuff is like serious magic. It smells so good, like seriously it smells so good. It has a heat protectant in it, so you don't have to worry about heat protectant, and it has a ton of other different properties which I will list in the description box down below that just help your hair to look healthier and shinier, and it's just really good for your hair. Tip number 8 is kind of a weird one that I had never heard of before. Natural body heat helps to cool your hair down. So if you're in a rush to go somewhere, or you're out and it's been raining and your hair's all frizzy, all you have to do is warm your hands up and then spend like 30 seconds running your hands through your hair, and the heat from your body is going to help your hair to defrizz. So another tip that I learned is that you can use hairstyles. I'm going to use ponytails as my analogy because that's what I got taught on the day, to help accentuate different features on your face. So the way Missy described it to me is that where you put your ponytail on the back of your head can help to accentuate a part of your face. So for me, I wanted to accentuate my cheekbones. So when I created my ponytail, the section that I put it in, I drew a line like this upwards on my cheekbone, and wherever that hit is where I wanted to put my ponytail. For example, if you wanted to accentuate your nose, you could draw a straight line backwards and put your ponytail directly behind your nose, and because that's parallel to your nose, it's going to accentuate your nose. Or you could put it on the nape of your neck if you want to accentuate your jawline. Jawline. If you want to accentuate your jawline, but I think it's a really cool trick. Yeah, I like to accentuate my cheekbones, so this is where I like to put my ponytail. Tip number 10 is to use a makeup brush with hairspray on it to perfectly smooth down like flyaways, or if you're going for a really sleek look, just to get it absolutely perfect, you can take a makeup brush, put some hairspray on it, and just run it over your hair, and it will smooth everything down perfectly, because unlike like a comb or a brush, it doesn't have really harsh bristles, and it's just gonna make everything look super smooth. Tip number 11 is actually something that I used to think is the opposite. So I used to think that when you put a bobby pin in, you put the little bumpy bits against your head. But I asked my hairstylist Missy on the day when I was in Melbourne how you actually do it, and she said that you need to put the flat part onto your head. That is the correct way to put a bobby pin in, because I feel like everyone has been confused about this like their entire life. Tip number 12, and the final tip, has to do with this little thing I have here. I don't know if there's actually a name for this, like hair wraparoundy thing. So the way to get the perfect hair wraparound, I'm gonna call it a hair wraparound, let's go with that. The way to get the perfect hair wraparound is when you have that piece of hair, you want to take a bobby pin at the end of your hair, a closed bobby pin, and just take the very end of your hair and wrap it around the bobby pin and tuck it into the bobby pin so that it doesn't move, and then you want to continue by wrapping the piece of hair around your ponytail or plait, whatever it is you're wrapping it around. And then once you get to the end, just simply tuck the bobby pin in, and because that hair is wrapped around the bobby pin from the beginning, it's not going to fall out. Like, it's going to stay in place all day long, all night long. You know when you usually do little hair wraparounds on your ponytail and then you have like this little tiny piece of hair sticking out because you couldn't fit it in the perfect spot? It's gonna stop that from happening. That is the final tip. That is the final hair hack I have for you guys for today's video. If you did like this video, it would mean the world to me if you gave it a massive thumbs up. And if you haven't already joined our little family, you should definitely do so. Go and hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this from me in the future. I do a ton of videos on hair and beauty and fashion, so come join our little family. And once again, I would love for you guys to leave me a comment down below with a hair hack that you have. If I didn't mention anything that you guys know in the comments below, let's just go hair hack crazy. Like, everybody appreciates a good hair hack. So I would love if you would let me know some in the comments down below. And I think that's everything I have to say for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye.